Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our free online lesson. My name is Nabil Fikri bin Shaizan, an application engineer from Acadsystems. So today's topic I would like to share with you about the Inventor Content Center. So we will get to know a little bit about the basic things on the Inventor library. Right. So welcome, Seong Chan. So I will proceed to the next slide. Right. So what is the Inventor Content Center? So the content center is actually a library of parts, which is a models of standard worldwide known, such as the screw, bolts, and nuts, right? So which is actually has a standard for worldwide, such as the ISO, NC, and so on. So all of these parts already included inside our inventor, so you don't need to create your own parts. Right? So we will, first of all, so we will get to know on how to use all of these parts inside of the Inventor Content Center. And the second things that I would like to share with you is that how does this Content Center actually works, and where does the file is actually located, so we can manage our file much easier. Right. I'll proceed with the Inventor. So first of all, when you go or create your project, so you must make sure that the content center is content center of the libraries that you need is selected. So you can go to this button over here. So configure content center library, and this is the list of the libraries that are available that you can use. So you can tick or uncheck all of these libraries that you need to use or you don't need to use. Right, for my case, I will check everything, so because I want to use all. Then you can see the location of library is actually located at this particular link. So it is actually at the C folder, program data, inventor, and so on. So we will take a look a little bit on this later on. And I press OK, done. And then let's start to look at one of the sample model, right? So the content center, so you will likely to get the access at the assembly file, right? So this is my assemble file. So this is my sample model. So to access the content center files, the library, you can go to the assembly tabs under the component, and you can drop down this place over here, and you can use this place from content center. So this is actually the libraries of parts. So what we call the content center. So you can see we have multiple things that you can use over here. So we have the cable and harness libraries. So we have fasteners libraries, which has bolts, nuts, rivet, pin, washer, and you can use, and many others. Right. So you want to use shaft, also available from here. You can use the bearings, the structure shapes for the beam, and so on. So let's take a look at the sample one first, which is the bolts, the fasteners. So I will use this hex 8, and I will start with this sample model, which is the matrix. So to use this, I can just simply double click, and it will show you at this workspace over here. So just click over here, and it will ask you to select the required size over here. Now, that is one of the ways to use it. So the best thing is about the content center is that it allows you to automatically insert the parts inside of our model. For example, I have this hole over here, and I want to automatically select and create that particular bolts inside this area, inside of this hole. So let's go back to the content center, and I want to use exactly the same bolts. However, we can see our bolts is a little bit large. If I go to this hole over here, this will allow this to calculate to the right size. Right, so based on the available libraries. Right, so you can see, I click over here, it allows to create at this particular size. Right. So if I have multiple holes which has the same diameter over here, for example, we have multiple diameter, it allows us to insert multiple and automatically insert for you. So you don't need to insert back again. Right, so you can see how fast it is. Right. So that is one of the ways that you can utilize from the content center. You can go from the place from content center and select and put inside of your model. So the second thing to utilize the content center is that you can go to the design. So I believe this is the best way that you can use the file from the content center. It is much more faster. For example, if you need to create these particular bolts, washer, and also the nuts over here automatically together, so you can do it from the design over here. So what it does is actually, for example, one of these option over here, it will allow us to take the parts from the content center before and put it over here. So let's start with this one. For example, I need to create these bolts, washer and nuts at one times, sandwiched together. So first of all, I can select the placement, right? So I already have a hole over here, so I'm going to use my hole, and I'm going to start with this plane, and I'm going to select my existing hole, and I'm going to select which is the bolts end, so the termination, so below here. So after I click this one, then I can select the standard I can use. So we have ANSI, and so I will choose this ANSI. And on the right side, this is the place that we can input our bolt fasteners and so on. So I can just click this one, and it will search back the libraries as allow me to select, and it will show me the preview over here. So if I need to input another washer or another fastener, so I can just click at add fasteners, and I can select any of those fasteners that are available from here. So I have inputted the bolts and the washer on top of this. Now the next thing is I want to input at the bottom over here. Right? So I'm going to put pass at the hole. So we have a hole over here. So select this time, click at hole below here. So it will add at the bottom over here. So I will add a fasteners here. Oops. Okay. And let's say I select this one. And then lastly, I want to select for the bolts and the nuts. Right, so you can see automatically put over here. Okay. And the bolted connection has been created. So you can see how fast it is that I can use on the design. Right. So not just bolts and nuts. For example, if I needed to create frame members or beam, right? So I can do this on the design as well. Right. So let me on my skeleton model first. Frame skeleton. Then I can use my frame members to just create the frame at this particular edges over here. So let me select my size. Right. Simply select over there, and it will create it for me. Right. So just like that, okay, and okay, and this will create it for me. So you can see many things that we can control from this standard over here. The size, the family, the standard, the materials. So everything can be controlled. So they will be created over here. So the next thing is, of course, I can use some of this to create a meter and so on, but we're going to skip that one. And go to the next thing is not only that you can do this both, so you can insert this one first. Right? So you can insert another thing such as the shaft, right? So it allows you to create your own shaft over here. So you can select the size that you want based on its current section over here. For example, I needed to change the length, so I can just drag, and I can also select from here if I needed to. For example, I want to place as a cone, so it will show a cone. Right. So it's loading a little bit. Let me see if I can. It's okay. Right. So just like that. Right. So if I want to use pairing, so I can just go to this pairing, click at this cylindrical face, and simply just select the location, and it will automatically insert this model for you. So you don't need to put again the assemble for the constraint made, flush, and so on. Right, so automatically can be done from here. Right. So other than that, also if you want to use gears, we can find from here. We have the compression spring, so everything can be easily managed from here. That is a little bit about the how can we use parts from the content center. So let's move on to the next one on how we can how we can know how we can manage the file itself. For example, if I create this file, where does this bearing actually store at? Where does this screw actually store at? Because if I open my my project file, right, so that particular screw, bolts, and nuts, bearing will not be shown there. Right, so we will take a look at that later on. So let's go back first to understand on our content center files library. So if you go to the project over here and go to the content center library, which you can control from here, above here is the location of your library. So if you created a new one, so for example, if I create a new one, that new library will be stored at this location. For example, let me name this one as my library. So if I go into this location, it will be shown over here. So this is the library available, the location that you can use. So if you create your own library, so you can go back to this particular folder, so you can copy and send it to your colleague as well on this folder. Oops, I believe I haven't shared my screen, so let me, right, so for this folder, if you click that particular option. Right, so by default, this will be the default location. For example, if you need to change your location of this library, so you can go, you can do that from these tools at the application option at this content center over here. Right, so that content center is where the access option that you can select. Right, so first is the desktop content, which is uh, the file on your computer. So you can select over here and select the location if you want. Right, so if you have your own server, you can also use this to directly link to that particular server folder. So everybody can have access on same folder. Right, so you can change the location for library at this location. So if you have both servers, so you can use this one. Right, so I'm going to just use desktop one. So next thing is, let's talk about the files that we have created and we want to send to other people. So like I mentioned before, so if you create bolts and nuts and so on at this particular file, and if you go back to your project file and you try to find that screw, bolts, and nuts, you will not be able to find it over here. For example, let me open one of these folder, which I have got these models from my colleague. So if I try to open this one, so first of all, I have a notification for missing link. So it will ask me to resolve the link. So if I find my parts, which is from the contact center, so I can open and search that particular part. So most of the times I don't have that part, so I'm just gonna skip this one, or just skip all. And when the file that I have got, which is I have got from my colleague, is not completed because some of the spot is actually at this content center, which not sent together to me, right? For example, we have this missing link, which is the flange part. So we have some valve and other things that actually missing. So if you created the files and put it from the content center, where does it actually go, right? For example, these parts. I have bearing, so I have bolts, nuts, and so on. So the location will be, you can go to tools, right? Or I can just go to my home, tools. You can go to application option. Then you can go to file over here, right? So all of these files will be stored at this default content center files. So you can see it's actually located at the documents inside of Inventor, inside of content center file, and etc. So let's try to search for this particular files, which has our bearing. So I'm going to open a new, so let me open a new folder. Let me see, okay, File Explorer. Right. So from here, it says that for my application option, so you can see at the files, it is actually at the document. So let's go to document. It says on the Inventor file. So this is the Inventor file, and inside of content center file, inside here. Now inside here, you need to select the version of Inventor that you use. For my case, I use 2022. So I'm going to open this one. And this is where you can see the standard parts has been stored inside here. Right, so if I open this one, you can see some of this is I have created just before, right? So the bolts, screw, and nuts is here. Right? This is the bearing. So everything it is created over here. So what happened is actually when you insert the files from the content center files, so Inventor will pull and open the files and taking the files from this library and created these parts inside this folder, the content center file that I have shown you before. Right? So the file is not created yet, but it is not it is inside of the IDCL library. So the Inventor managed to open this one and take it out and store at this content center location. So if you send your project folder to your colleague, so you must make sure to include the file from this content center as well. Right? For example, I have selected and copied, I have created this particular files. I have created this particular files. So when I send them to my colleague, they only see the files that I have created, but not the file from the library. So I needed to go into this content center files, copy this one, and send to my colleague. And my colleague need to save or copy this file into his computer with the same location here. So he has to paste on the document, the Inventor, the content center files, which is the exact location that I have created before. So that is one of the ways to ensure that your colleague will get the content center file as well. But there is a better way to do that, is that when you go to create a new project files, for example, if I want to create a new project files, right from the back, I can automatically go to my folder option and save my content center file here to the same project folder itself. So when I copy my project folder, my colleague will have the same part file. So let's try to create a new project. So let's call this Acad content center library and finish. Right. So of course I cannot open this one because I have opened the model over here. So let's close this one first. Right, and go back to project. So let me set this one as active. Right, and check back if everything is available from here. And let's open this one. Right, so like I mentioned before, the file can be accessed from the assembly file, the content center. So I will go to this content center. Then if I go back to my location of a project, right? So this is my project folder. If I go over here, so it's still empty. So if I start to insert parts from the content center over here, let's say this particular bolt over here, and let's take another one. Let's go with the rivet and this rivet. Right, so we have two of these over here. So if I go directly at that particular folder, so let me find folder. All right, so we've not yet saved. So let's go ahead and save this one first. I go back, right? Okay, so I believe I forgot to change the location. So let's close this one first. Go to project, right? So like I mentioned before, so you need to save the location. If not, it will store at the same place as this. So you can see this is the rivet that I have created before. Right, so it will store at the content center. So let's change the location. So go to project, go to folder option, and the content center files. Right click and edit the location for this folder. Oops. All right. For some reason, my Inventor has crashed. So let me open up again. So usually it will not crash. So probably because I opened too many files over here. Okay, let's go back to our project. Folder option, right click at the content center, and that's directly to the same project. Oops, this one. Right, so project folder. Okay, and done. Save. So let's start to create an assembly file. So you can see it's still empty from here. And when I start to place file from the content center, we have our rivet. So let's add, oops, let's add another part. So let's go, for example, tube and pipe fitting. We have flange over here, right? So, okay, so if I go back, so you can see this particular standard has been created, standard folder. So if I open this one, I have my parts from the content center available from here. So when I send this particular folder, this the overall project folder to my colleague, he will have an access to all of those libraries when he clicks on this Inventor project. Right? So that is how you can manage your project easily. The next thing is, so let's talk about when you want to create your own customized project. So what to do? So first of all, So when you try to create your project, so you can go to the environment, the manage tabs, and then we have the content center ribbon over here, and we can access from the editor. Now you can see all of this is actually very gray, so very transparent. So this means that this file is actually read only. So you can only create files which have a read write. Right? For example, if I try to create save copy, so I need to have my libraries available. So let me close this one first. Go back to our home and project. And let's take a look back at our content center files. So by default, every file from every library that come with the inventor will be read only. So only the file that I have created will be read write. So if I don't have the read write, if I try to create a new parts, so let's go to the editor. For example, I want to create a new file, new parts from the from this bolts. So let's say matrix. I can right click and set save copy as, and it will say here is that a read write user is required. So which means I don't have the read write available. So make sure to create your read and write. So if you needed to create your own customized library, so make sure to create a new library for it. So automatically you should have create read and write access. So let's just rename it as Acad content. Okay, so I have my own access for the Acad content. Read and write. Okay, so if I go back, done, save, I go back and try to create my own, or try to copy this one to create my own, save copy as, and here I can select any libraries that I have created before. So I have only one, so I select this one, and here I can give it a name. So I will just leave it as default, so I can know this part is actually newly created. So after created, so you can see the parts will be able to see instead of some of this which is grayed out because it is actually read only. So this one has been saved on that particular library which I have created, which is read and write. Now, for example, if you needed to delete this file, right? So I don't have the option here. So to do that, you can go to the library view and find the library which you have saved this particular file. So if I go to sheet metal, I can only see sheet metal files. So anything that unrelated will not be able to be seen. So if I need to see the Acad content library, so I can go over here so you can see. Right, so this is the library. This is the parts that I have copied before. So I can go ahead and if I needed to edit the size, so I can go to the family tables, edit the size from here if I needed to. So if you want your editing process to be easier, so you can also use edit via spreadsheet. So you can edit from the Excel file easily, right? So I can easily edit from here. This one. Now, if you want to delete this file, so you can right click and delete this family now, right? So that is basically how you use the Inventor Content Center library. So that is all that I would like to share with you. So I will open for Q&A session. So if you have any question, feel free to chat in the comments. So I will answering your question. So in the meantime, just for your information, this video is recorded live on Facebook, on YouTube channel. So if you need to view back this video, so you can go to our website, Acadsystems.com. So you just can type in ACADSYSTEMS.com, enter, and you will get inside of our main landing page. Right, so scroll down at the bottom. So we have the Facebook and also the YouTube page. So if you need to view our YouTube channel, so click over here, and this will automatically direct you to our channel, which have all of our available video that has been saved and recorded over here. Right? So basically that is all from me. Right? So we have one question from the YouTube. Right? So can we edit? Right. So we have one question from YouTube. Can we edit the bolts that we have attached? Yes, we can do so. For example, if I go back to my assembly file over here, and I place the parts from the content center, say I put this bolt. Right? So like I mentioned before, this part is actually taken from the library, which is read and write only. But as after you have put it inside of this workspace, automatically it will create this particular bolts into that particular document or the location that you have set, that you have saved before. So with that, you can automatically open this file to edit it. For example, I open this one, and here I can use, let's see, let's try to create fillets. Okay, so I believe different one. So let's create fillet over here and over here. So you can see I can actually edit this file. Let me try that again. See, modify the file. Right, so it turns out we cannot actually edit the file, even though we can open this one. Right, but if you still need to use it, I believe you can edit, you can copy the file. So let's try to copy this file. Right, so like I mentioned before, it has stored inside here. So if I try to copy and put somewhere else, I can open this file. And let's try to edit from here. Right, so we can actually edit from here. But since it's already have a link to this particular location, for some reason it does not allow for me to save directly. All right, so but if you try to copy on the different folders, so you can still use and edit this file. All right, so hopefully that will answer your question. All right, so I will open for a few more seconds. So if you have no more questions, so I will end the session for today. Right, so that is all that I would like to share with you. So since I believe no more questions from you guys, I will end this session of this free online training for today. So thank you very much for joining, and I see you guys again on our next free online lesson. So thank you and have a nice day.